You see me clearly. Mm. Oh. Are you being, during meditation, essentially, are you being super silent within? Are you being super silent around you, such as a time like this? This is early morning, such as a time, such as a time like this. This is early morning, very early morning, if you understand what I'm saying to you. And early morning, what we do basically, we wake up and our body has not, our accumulation, what we understand the mind and what we understand the body, what we understand, what we understand the mind, what we understand the mind and what we understand the body, it has not accumulated. The body and the mind basically has not accumulated the data through five senses, the all outbound senses. Such a time is ideal for meditation. Meditation, if you want to conduct an effective meditation, that's what my point is. If you want to conduct an effective meditation, a meditation which really has an impact on your well being, and you can see things clearly, not through the energy drinks or the coffee. Wide awake means that you are wide awake in your being, not just the body or the accumulation, if you understand what I'm saying to you. Wide wide awake means that you um wide awake means that you are wide awake in yourself. Wide awake means that the core, the essence of your being are wide awake and are receptive. If wide awake means the essence of your being, the essence, the level of receptivity is high. Wide awake means there is not a lot of data, there is not a lot of data being circulated in your awareness, what you essentially are. That's all it means to be wide awake. I hope you are following me. Wide, wide awake means that not a lot of data, not a lot of knowledge, and not a lot of information is being circulated in your awareness. meaning what you essentially are. Wide awake does not necessarily means that your body and your mind is sharp, because if the mind is sharp, it means the chances are you would have a lot of thoughts. So in a way, it is kind of contrary. Wide awake means whether your mind is sharp or your body is sharp or not. It's a good thing if it is sharp, but it's rather resting. That's the first thing you do in the morning. Morning time is the ideal time, such as this time. I don't really exactly know what time it is exactly, but it is very early because I keep waking up in last numerous days either at 2:45 or close to 3 in last numerous days. So anyway, I understand that everything is happening for a reason. I understand that everything which is happening has a very significant reason behind it. I understand all that. So the ideal time for meditation is early as comfortable but humanly possible, because you have not gathered all the data through your outbound five senses. Your mind is rather at rest, and you are resting within. You are super silent. You are resting within. You are super silent in you are super silent within, and you are super silent around you. Once you establish the silence within, once you establish the silence around you, even if it is for some time during the day, it gets you close and you merge with the divinity, or what we understand as sacred principle, the sacred principle or the sacred rule, if you understand the sacred principle or the sacred rule, which is behind every reality. It is the cause of every change in cosmos, and yet it is not changing. You see, that is what we understand. That is what we understand as a sacred principle, which is laying, that's what we understand as sacred principle, which is laying behind every reality, including mine and your reality. It is right now, even. It is never absent. It is right now, even, is underlying behind this reality. As you can hear the sound of my voice, as you can hear me talking, or rather my body, as you can see, that as you can hear, rather my lips, which is the part of my body, and body is nothing but accumulation. It is essentially is the fundamental principle even behind life. It gives birth to life, but it is never absent. It is always there. As a matter of fact, it is so generic that usually it is missed, and human mind wants to accomplish something really complicated, if you know what I mean. That human mind wants to come human mind wants to draw conclusions. Human mind wants to draw results so it can move on to something further, next. It's never gonna stop. Anyway, I am giving you today the transparency. I am giving you today the awareness about your own self, you see. So, this is something which is very simple. This is something which is very generic. This is something, it is so generic, it is so available, it is so out there that it is always overlooked. And as I mentioned a few minutes back, that human mind wants things complicated. And the reason human mind wants the things complicated is because by complication, or the more it is in function, the more it thrills, the more it goes on a power trip, the more it is in function, the more it is. But in the process, sadly and unfortunately, in the process, the being such as my being or me essentially, or you, I mean, it's the same awareness. It has no barriers, it has no boundaries, but the manifestation of awareness I'm talking about, it means this much air or this much air. I blew a bubble, if you remember, when we were kids. if you remember, if you remember when we were kids, I we if you remember when we were kids, we used to blow the bubbles. So I, as a child, blew the bubble, and another kid also blew the bubble. Some of these bubbles are smaller than others. Some of these bubbles are bigger than others. When the bubble is popped, or when the bubble is burst, what happens? What happens to the space within? It is all over. Just like that, the accumulation may be small, the accumulation may be tiny, or the accumulation may be humongous, but the energy behind it, which is gathering the accumulation, is the same energy without any barriers. The point I'm trying to make, that we understand as being the one which collects, the one which accumulates the accumulation. There's got to be something there which is not visible to the naked eye, which is not visible to the blind eye. There is got to be something there which accumulates, you see. This body does not happen in a blink of an eye. When you were born, you were not born this size. All you have gathered little by little, the accumulation basically. So that which actually gathers the accumulation, that's what we understand here in this moment in time as the being. So when the mind is full, the mind is on full, the mind is on power trip, the more complications, the more uh, dualities, you see, the more complications, the more dualities, the more contradiction, the more confusions basically there are, the more mind is eating, is feeding off on all that. So when mind does that, the being in the process. So when the mind does that, the being in the process actually gets abused, and it cries out for help. It cry because, and the voice of the being through the accumulation turns out something like this. I wish my I wish my mind could be silent, you know. They want their mind silent. I wish my mind could be silent. I wish my mind would leave me alone. I wish my mind would not overthink. Well, I have told you numerous times, thinking is not what mind does. Thinking or thought what mind is. You understand? That's why sacred has nothing to do with thinking and thought. Thought important just only so the survival process is has been taken care of. But when that happens, when the survival process is being taken care of, then you must grow and learn life, and that's the only way you would become super alert. Have you heard the term super alert? Have you ever been super alert in your life? This way you would become super alert, basically, so alert that you would know what action you are accumulating more karma and what action you are dropping or sharing the karma. All it takes to be super alert. You would only be super alert when you have no fear or very less fear. Otherwise, you would always be thinking more than you should, if you understand what I mean. These are basically, if we look a little more focus, excuse me, if we use a little more focus and we look at it profoundly, if you understand, we realize this is nothing but the human consciousness. Conscious is just consciousness. But in this moment in time, I'm trying to make a point, so I'm using these terms. The chit consciousness is stuck in numerous chakras. That's the reason there is common fear. That's the reason there is common self-doubt. Self-doubt is one of the lethal weapon from the demons and the devil. These, they attack us. They attack the beings who want to know the words of truth and wisdom through self-doubt, by planting self-doubt in form of a thought, not the idea, but in form of a thought, the fear in form of a thought, the jealousy, the sense of possession in form of a thought. This is all happening in form of a thought, and you know why it is happening? It is happening in form of a thought because most of us sadly have no control. And as I mentioned, not long ago, but a few minutes ago, that most of us are not, unfortunately and sadly, super alert. You see, now there goes the whole, if you understand what I'm saying to you, there. There goes the whole education, basically, so you can achieve the transformation where remains nothing from the old or the past life. I mean, you would look the same, but maybe it may have an impact even on your looks. You would sound the same, but people would notice, the other beings would notice that something has changed in this person. You see, they would definitely notice that. And what has happened, that your eyes now are open. There goes the whole education, there goes the whole edifice of spiritual practices in order to bring transformation in your life. However, you can set goal for a change if the transformation seems difficult in this moment in time, which is understandable. Transformation obviously takes longer, which is fine. Everything takes time than the change. But it all starts, if we jot down to everything I have said since I started delivering this message and since I started making this video. If we jot down that everything that which has happened uh, since I started this video, everything which I have said since I started this video, it all comes down to the same fact: the significance, the importance, the the importance of meditation. You see, whether you want transformation in your life so you can expedite the process of achieving mukti. I hope you understand. Whether you want to, you are ready to embrace the process of transformation so you can expedite the process to achieve mukti or ultimate liberation or salvation, if you understand, where you become one with Brahman, where you become one with Brahman, or you want to start basically, or you want to start from the change, if you understand the change where something changes in you, but also the qualities, the attributes, the adjective, whatever the English word we want to address, it indicates the same thing. There remains, of course. So there is some change. Of course, the change is positive, but remains the old personality too. Transformation, there remains no personality. Now the personality is gone, but there remains just the being, the authentic being, the person. So everything, as I started this video a few minutes back, everything is coming down to the significance of meditation. If you understand the significance, the importance of meditation. Without practical, I keep saying that, I keep stressing out that without practical, there is nothing which is possible. You understand? If you want to make the change, if you want to make the change, you need to put efforts. As Swami Yoga Ananda, I am sure that I have mentioned Swami Yoga Ananda before, that if you want to make the change, if you want to make the change, you need to put efforts. So this is the time. The time is right now. No more delay, no more excuses. You know, the best time to be happy is now. The best time to do anything is also now. So the time is right now, and this world is the place where we are in human form to do it. So we can relate to physicality, we can relate to the challenges, and we can shed our karma. You see, that's why the whole experience is being generated, so we can shed our karma. Nothing superstitious, nothing fictional, nothing fairy tale is happening, you see. And the person would keep taking birth and birth and birth till all the karma is gone. That's what we understand as a reincarnation. Again, I do not talk to you sci-fi. I do not talk to you fiction. I do not talk to you romance. I talk to you your own experience. Something that can resonate through you. If it has the shred of truth in it, it would resonate through you, just like the wisdom. as as I have mentioned this before, and I'm mentioning again in my most recent retreats, that is becoming, excuse me, time is becoming very significant for me. I am realizing and acknowledging the significance and the dire of time more and more. Every moment is passing by. Every every moment which is passing by, every second which is going by, every day which is passing by, I am becoming more and more serious about the significance of time, and I am becoming more and more serious about the significance of meditation, even if it is the fundamental meditation. I hope you understand. Even if it is the fundamental meditation, it doesn't have to be complicated. But remember something, without practical, there is either no result, or there is, without practical, there is either no result or there is zero result. So, what I am stressing about, basically, I am stressing about on the importance, I am stressing about on the importance of meditation. on the importance of meditation, so the demon and the devil basically wouldn't be able to penetrate the negative thoughts in the being. You see, because you would have sufficient distance from your thoughts. You would see the movement of thought. You would see why you are thinking about something specific in a specific place, in a specific venue, why automatically your hand goes and reaches out to the things that you have been using. All that, every place has its karma, um everything in nature, or even I would tell you, even man-made, everything. When you go into the state of meditation, you realize everything is shined by the awareness, by the light of awareness, you see. So keep all that in mind. It does come down to perform practical, so you can be alert enough, so you can acknowledge the karma of places, you can acknowledge the karma of people, you can acknowledge even the karma of the inventions, basically, that human um, have invented. Even that shines with the light of awareness. You see, even that shine. For instance, if you look at this now, this is a piece of rubber. You see, this is a piece of rubber, and this piece of rubber I am wearing on my finger. And of course, the piece of rubber is human made, is the human invention to serve different purposes. But since this piece of rubber was invented and came into being by humans, if you understand, the energy went through, that life energy went through the humans and it passed on to the object. So from the naked eye, if you understand, you cannot see that light of awareness, or most people cannot. But the person who has been doing the meditation just about nearly every day, their perception becomes so clear that they can, if they focus after doing meditation for quite a while, basically, if they focus on even the human made or inventions or the man made things, they basically can see the light of awareness even shining. Like, for example, if I take this piece of rubber off my finger and leave it here, and then if I focus on that piece of rubber for some time during the meditation, or rather a profound state of meditation, I can see the light of awareness shining around the piece of rubber or any object. It does not have to be the piece of rubber. I'm just giving you an example. But the things who are coming straight from nature, they are alive flat out, such as this water is alive, if you understand. The water in the bottle, please understand this. The water in the bottle, it has now my memory, and I have the memory because these are first hand natural phenomena are happening. This is a natural phenomena happening, this is a natural phenomena happening. As the water basically is in the water basically is in the bottle, and I have made a contact with the water, you see, and the water is coming from nature firsthand, and this phenomena is also from nature, so we share the memory of each other. This is all I'm telling you, because I'm telling you the alertness of your awareness, that kind of mind frame through meditation. Not even the mind frame, I wouldn't call it mind frame, but I would say the kind of, that type of level, that type of level of awareness, if we attain that type of level of awareness, if we achieve through our dedication to kriya meditation, if we do practical, we become alert in our awareness, super alert. As I mentioned not long ago, a few minutes ago, super alert. So, alertness and awareness and clarity is extremely needed. Otherwise, we wouldn't be able to see the different type of karmas which are hanging around. And if we get entangled with the karma, then we would be accumulating, unfortunately, more karma than we would be sharing. The less karma there is, the more we are closer to the light. The less karma there is, the more we are closer to the light. The more karma there is, the farther we are from the light, if you understand what I'm saying. So the less karma there is, we are more closer to the our mukti or moksha, then we become the part of the light, as I mentioned yesterday. Then if you want to come, uh, it's your choice. It's not mandatory. When you become the part of the light, that's the word I'm looking for in English. It's not mandatory. It's your choice now. If you wanted to come back out of compassion to human being, out of compassion to humankind. But if you don't want to, then you can just keep remaining Brahman. But it all happens when you have alertness and clarity in your awareness. That's the job I signed up for. You see, on my YouTube channel, I tell you that the clarity in our perception, the clarity in our awareness is missing. That's why we human going, sadly and unfortunately, we humans are going through the suffering that we go through on the regular basis. And my job is to bring clarity in your perception. My job is to show you the transparency of thing, not only through the words of truth and wisdom, but by my own dedication to my Kriya meditation, to my Kriya practice, and to you, to show you. I wouldn't say role model or this or that, because remember, I keep mentioning in the most recent retreats that nobody is better or a role model. We all are the students, we all are learning. We all are learning from each other too, and we all are helping each other to walk towards the same destination. The destination is the same, which is the destination is to become the part of the light, which is the first manifestation of your own awareness. Another message from sacred, another message from sacred, another message from divinity, which is this message, stressing on the significance of meditation, stressing on the significance of meditation. So make it a lifestyle if you can. Make it a lifestyle, make it a habit. You do, you learn things and you do things by performing them every day. There are so many activities. There are so many activities that you perform every day just for the survival. Then, of course, your thinking mind tells you survival is not enough for me. I don't want the tap water. I need now the mineral water. Or I cannot just um, compromise on a regular simple phone. I need Apple. I need Samsung Galaxy. I need different type of expensive brands. You see how far these brands, the money and all that can take you. Rather perform the activities during the day. You perform so many activities to achieve these type of things which cannot even take you very far, but rather invest and make habit a routine every day, something that would take you far, that would take you, that would even go with us, all of us, when we even when we shed our body, even when we even when we basically have shed our body, the essence which carries on would be benefit, would get the benefit of from meditation, from practical, the life energy, the attachments you would use stuff around you if it is available. You would nurture the relations, the family, the friends, the social circle. Of course, you would nurture. There is nothing wrong with that. But you would have the awareness that nothing belongs to me. You wouldn't have no sense of possession. You see, when this body does not belong to me, when this mind even does not belong to me, so, what is the point of having a sense of possession on other people and a need to control them? It's foolish to even think like that. It's not smart, it's not wise. So, ponder on what I said. Everything comes down to the practical, which is meditation, that would bring clarity in your perception in every regard. Then you wouldn't have to use your mind, or you would not have to have unnecessary thought which keeps you restless. So meditation has become a must. It doesn't matter that if you meditate half an hour, if it doesn't matter if you meditate for a few minutes, it doesn't matter if you meditate 1 hour. Just your intention is always to give 100% the best out of you. Your intention, your best would also your best would also vary. We have talked about that based on your own physical condition, based on the climate, based on your surroundings, based on your circumstances you are going through. But your intention, remember, I mentioned that intention basically is the birth of creation. Your intention is always loyal. Your intention is always good, which is to be good to yourself and those around you. Your intention is always good and loyal, which is to be good to yourself and those around you. That's the only thing we yogis, the meditators, the rishis are solely concerned, that how good you are to yourself and those around you. Because if you are good to yourself, if you understand in every regard, if you are good to yourself, it's only natural that you would spread that goodness around you. So, common welfare, let's look basically for the common welfare. Let's look basically for the commonwealth, not just us. That's unfortunately and sadly is a thought or an act of selfishness, but the goodness for everybody. And that always starts from within, you see. And it's only natural that it resonates and it spreads around. Everything comes down to your own well being. If you are feeling well, if you are feeling fulfilled, if you are contented and at peace within, then you would spread that around. And that fulfillment, that peace, you can only attain through meditation. That fulfillment and peace you can only attain through Kriya Yoga and meditation. Please know that. See, so I brought the screen a little closer, so while you are meditating, listening to the words of truth and wisdom, while you are listening to the words of truth and wisdom whenever you get around it. Obviously, this is live. I do not do no retakes or anything because I am in a state of meditation and I do not use my intellect until unless I really have to because I have transparency in my awareness. So life becomes easy for us. The reason I brought this screen that whenever you get around the meditation or to listen to the words of truth and wisdom, you can also see clearly the physical posture for fundamental, the physical posture for the fundamental meditation is this simple. Oh. Oh.